Good evening, Vesta. How are you? Always the first to jump on. Hope everything is fine in your piece of the world. Hi, Linda. Vesta, my aunt is in, I can't think of the name of the city right now, but she's in Colorado to see my uncle who's recovering from a little stint in the hospital. So she's out in Colorado. Hi, Sharon. Hi, Doris. Hi, Jean. We'll just let a few more people jump on. And if you're watching and you've never introduced yourself before, please hop on and say hi to all of us. Hi, Lori. Hi, Pat. Hi, Cheryl. So in the evenings when I do lives at this time, I don't do the whole camera thing where you're looking at me because it's 8:30. I got my shower early. I have like no makeup on. My hair is drying and I am in my pajamas because when this wraps up, it's going to be like around 9:30 and I'm going to be thinking bed. I still have not caught up on my rest from the birding festival. I think it's going to take me probably the month of May, and really May is so crazy for me. We got card play retreat at the end of the month. Just got done with birding, and just because the festival's over, the birds are still migrating. We still have spring migration, so I'm tempted to get out, but I've got, so many things to do. And then it kind of went crazy with friends who needed a pet sitter. So I've been helping my friends out doing that also. So it's been very, very, very busy. Hi, Joy. I am so happy that you enjoy this site. And I read some really, really touching comments over in the group. If you haven't joined the group yet, you'll want to do that. But Kathy had posted, she had noticed that we had gone over the 2,000 mark for members. And I was reading the comments. I haven't had time to respond to everybody, but it really touched my heart. And I really am so happy that we have a space where we all feel really comfortable in sharing our cards and just creating new friendships. I'm very, very happy that we have that space. And so it was exciting. I mean, I didn't know if it would have, I didn't do it with the intentions of like watching numbers, but that's a pretty good accomplishment there. So it was nice to see that acknowledged. Hi, Peggy. And there's Angie and Linda. Oh, you didn't go to the concert. Okay, well, I'm glad you're here with us instead. Hi, Debbie. Okay, so we've got quite a few on. The first thing I want to touch on is if any of you are in or around the Waverly, New York area, on June 8th, Mary Nabe and I have been asked to come to a Stampin' Up event that's being hosted by Tony Shaw and Jean Hoffman. Tony, her group or her page is called Shaw's Creative Stampin'. And Jean is the Take It Slow Stampers. Jean loves sloths, and I think that maybe that might have something to do with her name. But she's into all the cute stuff. They asked us to come and help them with a ladies' afternoon or a ladies' day out with the Fab Four is what Tony's calling it. And we're going to do 4 projects. There's going to be door prizes and treats. There's a lunch that's going to be provided and drinks. And there's still openings. So if you would like to spend Saturday, June 8th with the 4 of us, then I'm going to move this up right here so that you can get a screenshot of Tony's email address. If you're interested, please get a hold of her. There are still seats available, but I'm pretty sure that the closer this date gets to be, that it'll fill up rather quickly. So please get a hold of Tony if you are, you know, a 2 or 3 hour drive from Waverly, New York. We would love to see you. I do have this flyer. I shared it. I should share it again and maybe pin it to the top of my page. But once you contact Tony and she has your contact information, then, you know, you will be provided all the information that you need to attend that day. So I'm hoping that I'm excited to meet a lot of new people. And Cindy's watching from Hazen, North Dakota. Yay! So yeah, it would be, you know, really fun to meet and put faces to the names that we recognize every week when we're online. And it would be so cool if I was in the position that, well, even if we got a group or we could like coordinate things like that where, you know, you can travel to different parts of the United States, you know, that would be a lot of fun. Hi, Lori. And hi, Mary from Las Vegas. Hey, Tony's on here. Good. Tony's on here. And so is Jean. So, the host of that event, they're both right now in the chat. So if you have any questions, send them a message and they will take care of everything for you. The only other thing that a couple of things, next Tuesday, the 21st, there's free shipping on Stampin' Up! Orders of $75 or more. When free shipping comes around, the main thing I order is cardstock. We know how much cardstock weighs, and weight has a lot to do with your shipping costs. So if you want to take an inventory of what you got and what you need, I would use the free shipping day to stock up on paper. And the other thing is I still have 4 make and take packs, bundles. That's 2 different DSPs, the ribbon, embellishments, cardstock for the make and takes for the card play summer retreat that Karen Titus and Holly Sutton, myself, and we have 2 other demonstrators from Washington that are going to be demos in that. So if you have any questions, let me know, because I do have 4 of the make and take kits left. After that, I mean, the ribbon's already on back order, so, and I think the embellishments were low inventory, something was. So if you wanted like the ribbon and you can't get it now because it's not going to be here until like, I don't know, second week of June, then why don't you join Card Play, and when you get the make and take option, you're getting that product and I will just mail it to you. So just let me know. Hi, Lynn from Chico, California. My goodness, there's some destinations here that I have never caught on here. So that's great because that means we've got some new people watching. Lynn is calling us the traveling divas. I'll pass that on to Mary. Okay, so let's get into our mystery quilt block. These mystery quilt blocks aren't so much about the card as it is the block. Actually, I don't have a finished card to show you because we're going to do it together. I thought it would be fun if we just kind of designed it together. I've got a layout in mind. but I'm focusing on the block. I would like to see how you use the block in a card or a layout of your choosing. So let's get started with what I had posted for you to prepare for tonight. So I've got a card base here of Berry Burst. I am using the Unbounded Beauty Designer Series paper. I'm trying to work with one paper and, for several weeks so that I really get a chance to play with it. And this one, I love the colors. It's really challenging me on how to use it. So, by the end of the month, ideas should come a lot easier for me. You know how some designer series papers, you can just run with them. And then for me, I find others are a little bit more challenging. But I'm going to keep pushing on. And I love that the patterns in this designer series paper, these two remind me of batiks. So I'm just trying to keep fabric in mind and not get too caught up in my own thoughts. And then I have some of and these are like the in colors, so that's fun to play with. So what I've got here is my card base, standard card base, 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. Nothing fancy there. Okay, we've got a 4-inch square of designer series paper, and you'll notice that I'm working with, they're bright, but if you were looking at the value of them, like light, medium, dark, these would fall in the light category because I've chosen a very bold color for contrast. Okay, so we've got a 4-inch square, a 3-inch square, and 2 1.5-inch squares. In the directions that I posted, and I've made a correction since then, I posted a strip, I posted it originally at 1 1/4 by 4. Trim that down to 1 1/8 by 4, not 1 1/4. So you just want to take 1/8 off the longest side. Okay. Let's do some cutting. The only thing that we're going to cut are these 3 squares that are 1 1/16. That 1/16 makes a difference. You can go at 1 inch, but that 16th makes a lot of difference. So we've got 3 of those. And I'm going to bring in my trimmer, and what we're going to do is we are going to cut them diagonally in both directions. So you're going to put your square on point in your trimmer, and you're going to line up these 2 opposite points in the cutting track. Okay? And this is going to be a little different for me because I'm used to working down here closer to my body instead of up here farther away from me. But we will give it a go. And I am going to hover my blade over the middle of that square that's on point and gently close this guard. And then push my blade down into the cardstock, and I'm just going to go down and up. Oh, that one's off. That one's off. I want to cut a different one. See, working away from myself, I don't get a really good look at it. So let me get a scrap here, and let me cut off 1 1/16, which is the 16th is just that next line past 1 inch. Okay, so I'm just going to do this one more time. And you know what? It never hurts to have more triangles than what you need, because if your cutting is a little bit off, then you can toss away the one that isn't working for you, and you can just grab another one. So I am just going to line that up again. I could have made it work, but this is a good time just to point out you know, why we put it on point and why we want everything to be nice and even. Much better, much better. So now I'm gonna turn one of those triangles, and I'm gonna put it up to where the longest edge is right along the top of the trimmer, and this point is now in the track. Okay. And we need to do this so that we have 12 smaller triangles. Okay, so there's 4. That one was the one I wasn't really happy with, so we're just going to get that one out of the way so that I don't grab it. I might end up reaching for it. I don't know. That one's not too bad. We're not going for perfection, but you do, you know, in quilting, you just can't really, you know, not care either, because we're looking at lining up our pieces. So perfection is hard to come by because nobody's perfect, but also you still have to care and try to be really good with your cutting, okay? I like that one too. Okay, so just a few more cuts and we'll have our 12 triangles that we're going to need. And this is all, we'll have all of our pieces to make this block with these triangles and the squares that I showed you. Okay, so here we've got, I want to keep these close by. We're going to put the trimmer away. Excuse me. And I'm going to bring in my silicone mat. I want you to get your 3-inch square and your 2 1.5-inch squares. Hi, Ornetta. Hi, Pat. Hi, Margot. I love to see that you guys are chatting amongst yourselves. So many friendships have been made, and I just love watching it all happen. So you're going to take your 1.5-inch squares. We're going to create a 4-patch, but instead of cutting 4 1.5-inch squares and then gluing them down to like a foundation piece, like a piece of copy paper or a piece of grid paper, I'm going to use this 3-inch square as the base. So what I'm going to do is I am going to glue these 2 1.5-inch squares diagonally from each other, and then now we have created a 4-patch. So if you're when you're considering, using a foundation piece, let's eliminate cutting 4 squares that we have to make line up. Let's cut that in half so that we don't have to cut so many. And we know that our base is 3 inches, so we're already pretty square. instead of, you know, what if we were off in our cutting on all 4 squares and then we're trimming and squaring up. This base, if you are at a true 3-inch square, it's already getting us started. Okay, and make sure that you go out to the edge, but you don't want it sticking outside of your the 4 sides. So I like to just run my fingers along the side, because using the Tombow glue, because it gives us time to move things around, I can help move that square into place. If I was using a tape runner right now, once it's down, it's down. So we need to be able to have time to kind of fix things, and the liquid glue is great for that. So I am just getting this down in the corner. And here in the center, they should be really close to those 2 points touching. Okay. So we have our 4 patch. Now what I want to do is we need to draw some lines. And these lines are going to help us place those half square triangles or quarter square triangles, because we did 4 instead of 2 out of 1 square. I'm going to bring in a piece of grid paper, and I'm going to set this in here. And what I'm looking to do is I want to draw a diagonal from this corner to this corner, and this corner to that corner. So, you know what? It's going to probably be easier if I put it on point. Make sure that my points are on the same line. And then we'll just put the ruler down. And do this lightly. We are going to have to erase our lines in the center of our 4 patch. So one more line. Okay, so these lines are going to help us with where we want to put all of these triangles. And what I am going to do, instead of working around my block clockwise, I'm going to work on these 2 squares first, and then I'll work on the other 2. So what we want to do is we want to take, and we're going to put a triangle right up there in the corner. Okay. The other thing we want to do is don't put anything in the middle yet. Take this 3rd one and where, okay, so let me get a little pointy majig here. So what I want to show you, and I'm going to bring this up, is to know where to place this. You want these 2 points touching the outside edge of this peach square, and you want your point resting on, come on you, of course it does. You want the point on the line. And I always like to do like a little dry run. And then I am going to take another triangle and I am going to put it right in the middle. But I just right now want to see that everything is playing together. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and glue down that very first triangle that goes all the way out to the edge. Move those. I'll put it all the way out to the edge, using my fingers to keep it inside the base there. That way I don't have to flip it over and trim anything off. Now, if you're in your cutting, you do have any cardstock that's showing beyond the boundaries here, then you're going to want to snip that off. And then I'm going to put this one that, whoops, I got something there. Okay. I'm going to put this down. Again, I want my points touching the outside and I just want to make sure too that it's straight. And that my point is on or very close to being on my drawn line there. And then we'll put this one in the middle. And always hold it up. Look at it. Make sure that your horizontal line is pretty straight. We're eyeballing this. We haven't drawn any lines. It's going to help keep us straight. So we have these 3 triangles. And I am going to do the same thing. I have seen this block. I've seen it called something about trees. I can't find a definite name for it. You know, all of these, it starts with a 4 patch and you're just creating another pattern within it. Again, I'm going to set this there, making sure that my points touch. And I have that my point there at the mountain is hitting that pencil line. And then you're going to repeat this to the other line that you drew, going that's with the Summer Splash color. Again, I want to hold it up and pay attention that I'm looking pretty straight, because when we get done putting these other triangles in, we're actually creating a 4 patch, kind of like a windmill. So we want to make sure that we can see a square forming in our mind's eye, because we haven't got all the way to the end yet. But we're just kind of looking ahead and just making sure that they're all falling in line. Okay, so there we got it so far. And now I'm just going to turn it. And we're going to work on the other 2 light colors. And see how by putting this here, what I'm looking for is that I'm creating a box right here. And you might have to make it fit. But see how there's a square here happening? Like if we put in our other triangle, we'd be creating this box right here. Okay? So this is really like an hourglass middle. And this is what reminds me of the pineapple block, if anybody's familiar with that. It's not the pineapple block per se, but that's what it reminds me of. And if there's any quilters who are watching, and can jump in and share with us any names that you know this block to be called, we would appreciate it. I know there's a lot of card makers who are very interested in what patterns are called. Now this one I'm going to play with a little bit because I want to see a nice square there. I'd have to slide it over just a little bit. Doesn't have to be perfect. You're going to quilt, I'm sure you're going to quilt your block. And if you're new, when you run your quilt block through an embossing folder, the rollers help push everything into place and lay them down really nice. So you can, sometimes it looks like things have worked out just through that process because it lays it down so nice. But it's not necessary. If you don't have a machine or a way to run your block through the rollers, don't worry about it. Don't let that stop you from creating quilt blocks. So do you see the pattern that is happening here? Hi, Kathy. Hi, Gail. Hi, Becky. Oh, thanks for sharing, Becky. I appreciate that. Amanda Bach. Hello. So now I'm just going to turn it around and we're just going to finish it off. And this is your mystery quilt block. Once you've got your quilt block, it's, you know, a matter of putting it into a card. Maybe you're making a box and you want your quilt block to sit on top of that box. Maybe you're scrapbooking and you're doing a scrapbooking page and you want this block to be a part of that page. Move it over just a little bit so it's on that line. But can you see my square isn't perfect? My square is not perfect, but neither am I. But it's still, you can see the quilt block and you can see the pattern. And what we're going to do is you're going to take your eraser and you're going to erase those pencil marks from the middle of your quilt block. I just love this pattern. I think it's really cool. And to tell you the truth, I meant to make a different block with these triangles. And I just started playing with moving them around and I ended up liking this design a lot better. So it took more triangles because the pattern I set out to create only had 8 half square triangles, and here I needed to make some more. And now we're going to put this block on our card on point, but you can see how different it looks when it's sitting on point or whether you have it square. It just changes the look. Now our hourglass in the middle is on point, the rest of it's square. But if I turn it on point, then my hourglass square in the center is square. So you can play with it and use it however you want. Now I am going to just step away for a moment. I'm going to quilt this with the eyelet. Have you seen the eyelet embossing folder? This is the new eyelet embossing folder, and that's what I'm going to use to do my quilting, and I'm actually not going to deboss it. I'm going to emboss it. And I'm going to try and line up the middle point of my block with this little eyelet here. Let's see how close I can get to almost making this look. Oh, I don't know if it's going to be exactly. But let's see what happens. Okay, let's see. Let's see what it looks like. Ooh, that's pretty. I like it raised up like that. You can see a lot of detail where the eyelets are. I normally go for the debossed side, but wanted to do something different tonight. And we're creating this together. So in my mind's eye, I have a layout. We're just going to see what happens. Oh, Jean, you just got your eyelet folder today. I love it. It's it's one of my favorite folders. Okay, so let's keep going. Hi, Anne. So we've got our square. And the 4-inch square that I had you cut, this is going to sit diagonally on it. The points will fall outside of the 4 edges a little bit, but don't glue it down yet. I'm just wanting to show you that now we're putting a background to our quilt block to bring in another color. Okay? But don't do anything with that yet. My base, I am going to do it in landscape. And this is what I'm thinking. I'm going to put the 4-inch square to the left side. You can go right if you want. And then that 1 1/4, well, no, 1 1/8 by 4. I'm going to put that to the other side of it, leaving a border all the way around. Okay, so you can even that up. And right now I'm just playing with how this is going to look. And your points now should be touching the very outside edge of your card base. They're going to go all the way to the edge. And they're going to come out over here a little bit past and onto your that other piece of designer series paper there. So I'm just playing with the layout right now. I did some die cutting. I'm using the, where is it? The Unbounded Love, which goes with the designer series paper. It's all in the same suite. A lot of great words. This is a really good sentiment set. And these are the dies that go with it. So I picked out this die here. I hadn't played with them until today. So I learned some things about a few of these pieces. And then I also cut out, so this one die that I just showed you, it actually cuts out the frame and the inside piece. I am going to leave them together if I use this because I really thought it was going to be one piece, and I love the double stitching. Can you see, like, when they're together, it has double stitching? So that's what I thought I was getting when I did the die. I could also glue down the frame and pop up the inside to give it a little dimension. So I did that, and I thought I would put that like right up there in the corner. But then I got to playing with one of the other circle dies, and these just there's not as much stitching as the Stylish Shapes circles. So I did You're a True Blessing. Oh, and I did one that said Hope. I thought with the pink, I don't know, I was thinking that was a nice sentiment to go with that. If you're not happy with the middle of your quilt block, you can always do this. You know, if you're given an opportunity to do something with an area that you didn't quite come together the way you wanted it to, you could always put a sentiment in the center. There could just be the hope down here in this corner. I did some of these, I don't know what they're called. I think it's supposed to be some kind of greenery, but I did them in Pretty Peacock because that's a coordinating color that's in the Designer Series paper, and it brought out another bold color to kind of counter the Berry Burst. And then there was this other little leafy thing that I thought, well, not sure what I want to do. When I was looking at these, I was kind of playing around with putting them down there, and then I could use some, I'm missing one of these little, well, I'm not going to go looking for it, but I had it. So, you know how that is. They just kind of jump off of your spot when you're working. Because I liked what this did was this gave this a really gentle curve. I liked this look with connecting those two together. See how it gives it that really pretty S. So I'm just kind of playing now with how I want to finish it off. But I can come, I've got some ideas. So I'm just going to move all of this. Oh, there's that other little one. Let's go ahead and let's glue down. Now, if you wanted to give these two pieces some texture and run them through an embossing folder, you could. That way it would just give some more interest to the background. And when people touch the card, they actually feel the texture. Oh! Julie. Well, my heart just sank. I don't know about yours, but mine did. Okay, so we're going to look to have equal borders on 3 sides. That looks pretty good. I'll go back in with my adhesive eraser and pick up any residue there that is going to be left behind, and then we'll go ahead and we will put this one down. Okay, just want to, a lot of times I just have to tilt it up and look at it to see if I'm straight. Okay, so there we've got our background. Yeah, Kathy, it does. The circle will cover the faux pas. And Lori liked the circle on the center, in the center, so I'm going to read Are we popping up the 3-inch square? You can if you want to, Sharon. If you want to go rogue, I love it when you go rogue. You can. I am going to keep mine flat, but definitely go for it. You know, that's how, you know, we all see things differently, and when everybody tries something different, we can all sit back and go like, oh my gosh, I love how that turned out. I never would have thought of that. Or I thought of it, but I was afraid to try it. So it's great when we all make different things. At this point, I want your creativity and your ideas. I want you to run with those. You don't have to do it the way I'm doing it. If you see another something in the design that you want to do, I want you to do it. And I want you to share it with us and show us what you did. You know, the first card, sometimes it's, you know, easier to do it as you're seeing it being done, and then the ideas come and you do it over again. But if you're already seeing a whole different layout or something you want to do differently right now, then go with it. If you wanted to step this up, you could have a narrower border showing from your card base if you layered this 4-inch square. Like, what if I would have layered this 4-inch square on a 4 1/8 inch square of Pretty Peacock to bring in that bold color again? And what if I layered this piece on Pretty Peacock? You know, these are things, these are going to be ideas that'll pop into your head. And, you know, so you might have to make more than one card. Oh, darn. But just just run with it. Okay. This here. Now, Sharon, you could pop this up if you wanted to. That was your idea. I'm going to let you do it. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to adhere this on point to that 4-inch square. And I'm going to do it so that my peach 4-patch, the peach color, runs horizontally to this vertical part, bringing in the color. Just, I don't know, just to be different. And again, my points are going to go out to the edge. Oh, I'm liking how this is coming together. So far, I haven't goofed up so bad that you're all like, oh boy, she might have wanted to do a, oh, what do they call it? A prototype before she came on here. But I'm telling you, my May is so crazy. I am literally flying by the seat of my pants. But that's good. It's good to, you know, sometimes have to stop and think it out. And oh, I like it when I look at it on the computer. I like it. Okay, so you said that you were liking the center. Now this circle here, this covers up, like, it's going to cover up that whole hourglass that's in the center. And I don't have a problem with covering it up. I think if you get too small, I don't know, I'm going to overthink it here. I'm going to see what it looks like on the computer. I don't like that. I don't like that. My eye says I don't like that. So it's either going to be the circle, or I'm going to glue this frame right there. And I can either inlay this to keep it all one. Oh my, I got a fuzzy on my finger because of the glue. I can leave it flat, or I could put a couple dimensionals behind this and actually raise that up. The only thing is when I raise it up, I can see underneath it, and I don't know if I like that. What do you guys think? Should I give it some dimension and pop that up, or do you not like this at all and you prefer the circle? Yeah, Lori, I like the bigger circle too. No, Lori says no dimensionals. Got a bigger circle. Love the center circle. Let's see here. I don't know what to do. I like both. I kind of had an idea for my center because I'm going to bring in these. I love these. These are my favorite metallic gem right now. And I got one that's run away here. These are so nice and flat, you guys. So nice and flat. They're not going to add bulk to your project. But these are the adhesive backed textured dots. And I just thought that bringing a metallic in instead of like the pretty peacock sequins, I just thought there's enough pretty peacock going on in there. I wanted to bring in something different. And I really like these metallic dots here. So, if I was to leave the hello, and you know what? I just might have to make more than one card. I could put these little branch thingies down here. And then my hello is up here in the corner. And then I could just put in some of these dots. I was thinking about putting the bigger one in the center and two smaller ones on each side. And then when then I'm thinking, well, as long as we stay in odd numbers, how many could I get away with? Now look, I've already lost that other little thing. It was here and now it's gone again. And I think if I use the hello, then I don't really want to. If I didn't use the hello, then I really like the movement that is created when I make that a little taller. And I would go back to putting that there. And then I could take my dots and I could actually put them on this side. So should I do the circle in the center and use my greenery here, or use the hello with just a few sprigs down here? Anne says she doesn't like the peacock. Okay. Too many colors. Well, I was trying to bring in the color since I used the pretty peacock for my sentiment. I was just trying to bring that color in a little bit more. And again, it coordinates, it's a coordinating color with the paper. So, Vesta likes a hello. Lori's a circle. Can you use both? Hello, you're a true blessing. I didn't think about that. I don't know. I think together, there's just two different styles going on here. I think I would want to keep it one or the other. And Margot says hello with the frame. Pat says the hello, don't use. Do you mean don't even use these two down here, Pat? Maybe just take those out. Put the hello and maybe just put some of the dots on there and call it good. Hello with the dots in the center. You know what? I'm just going to go with what I originally set out for. I'm going to use the hello. And I don't think I'm going to pop up the inside because, like I said, when I took the die out, I thought I was getting something totally different. And when it became two separate pieces, I was kind of like, oh darn, I was hoping that, come on, glue. Oh, I was kind of hoping that it was all one piece with double stitching. You know, I should have gotten out my dauber. I have a sponge dauber for glue. And I could just tap it on there and then put it down. Okay, I'm going to bring this closer to me so that I can try to stay straight. And I just want to gently push it down so that I'm not causing glue to come out from underneath it and then getting all over. So there's our frame. And then if I just set that back inside, I love that double stitching. And you know what? The edging of that frame actually kind of reminds me of like a doily or, you know, something to that effect, bringing in that whole, you know, quilts and doilies and all the pretty things. So I'm just going to set that back in. Okay. And then I'm still thinking, I like these little guys. I mean, would it look so bad if I just put those there? It just seems like something's got to go in the corner, and I don't know if my dots would be enough to fill it. And here's what I thought about with these dots. This is what I thought about. And I'm just going to gently lay them on here in case I want to take them back off. But I thought one in the center, that's the bigger one. Whoops. Oh, don't stick to the cardboard. Oh. Come on, you. Okay, I'll take your brother over here. And what if we just put that like that? I could just stay with the 3 and just leave it like that. I don't know. There's so many different ways that this can be done. I don't know. I don't know. I might have to look at this overnight. I do like those the metallic dots, so, and they're nice and flat. I don't know, because I could have put a 1 in there. I don't know, you guys. I don't know how I'm going to finish it, and I don't want to take up your whole evening. This is where the playing comes in, and now this is down, so there's nothing I can do about that. that is staying. I did not push those down. I could lift them if I wanted to. You know, I had this other kind of, this was a different die cut out of that. I don't know if I like that as well. I don't know. I'm going to have to just play with it. Jasmine likes the stem. Hey, Judy's on here. Hi, Susanna. Hi, Judy. Paula. Carol. Yeah, so it's just, you know, it's just a matter of playing. But I've already got the hello down, so I'm I'm there with that. But I do like, I like how these two pieces draw your eye from the corner up to the greeting and then out over. See how your eye is going to go out over the quilt block. So I don't know. I'm looking at it on the computer, and looking at it on the computer is really kind of a neat tool that I can see just glancing over it. Is it something I like? Now I don't know if I do like it. I don't know. Y'all, I don't know. I might have to make another one and put the circle in the center and then put one of your crooked triangles that you didn't use in the corner. Oh, I see what you're saying. I'm going to have to cut it down. I have to cut it down because I didn't finish cutting it. Is this one of them that I liked? Now I got to make sure that it's one that I want to work with here. Oh, what if I would have... Or maybe I should... Where's the other one that was bigger? Because will that go... Oh, it almost goes all the way to the edge. That is something to think about. It was a good suggestion. That way I could use up... Or what if we... Wow, you're getting a whole nother quilt block when you keep adding. I don't know. I'm going to have to play, you guys. I love your suggestions. Cheryl likes the open leaves because they match the DSP, and they do, don't they? Look at all the open leaves that are in there. So if I put the open leaf there, it does bring out the open leaf that's in the Designer Series paper. Good eye. Good eye. I'm just going to have to play. I wonder what that would have looked like. Nope. Nope. Kind of wishing now that I hadn't put my hello down, but it's down. So I'm going to have to make it work. So I'm going to sleep on it. And something might pop into my head while I'm sleeping. Or in the morning, I'm going to come up here and I'm going to look at it with fresh eyes and see something totally different. So, Sharon, you made 2 cards? Well, that's awesome. The leaves look like an afterthought. Oh, wait, how about stacking 3 triangles in the... Oh. What if? Okay, hold on. That's, the other one's not what I wanted. I like how we're figuring this out together. Is this what you mean, Luann? Hold on. That brings... And you could also do them going the opposite direction. Ooh. Oh boy, this is taking, oh boy. I think what I would want to do is would I want to cut them a little bit bigger so that they actually touch on the outside? Oh my gosh, I looked at the computer. That gave it a whole new look. Oh boy. Oh boy. Ooh, now what do I do? Because I like that. It helped fill this void that was in the corner. I'm going to leave it like that. I'm going to bring in the other pieces that I was working with. And I cannot believe that I lost that other little sprig again. Don't have to worry about the sentiments because that's not going to get done. But I've got options here. We love options. And, you know, why stop at one card? We could make more cards. So put leaves on the top goose like in a vase. Okay, so here's my flying geese, right? Is that what you mean, Kathy? I got that little sprig, or are you talking about the open leaves? Hold on. I really like that open leaf die cut. I'm getting overwhelmed. I am going to have to step away because my wheels, your suggestions got my wheels spinning now, and I'm like an overload. So keep sharing your suggestions, and I'll go back and I'll read the comments and I'll play with the different suggestions that you gave, and let's just see what happens here. Pat says she still likes the foliage drawing the eye up. I know. You know what? It just means I might have to make like 4 cards and just do every suggestion and then just have... Oh boy. I really wish I hadn't glued my hello down, but it's there. But I kind of like the open leaf going up into my sentiment. I'm kind of digging. I'm digging what's going on here. So, but I have to walk away, but I really like what's going on. And you know, everybody's eye is different. So, you just have to keep playing. Not everybody sees everything the same way. I'm looking at these triangles and I'm thinking, had I not put this hello down, what if I had 3 triangles going this way and then reverse them and they're going up that way? That would add some flying geese into the pattern. There's so many possibilities here right now. So I want to thank everybody for sharing and for being honest and sharing what your eye sees, whether you liked it or you didn't like it. That's how we play, right? And when I get it all done, of course I'm going to take a picture and I'll put it on the Chirpy page, but I'll also share it in the group, the Quilt Cards and More. And yeah, I'm just going to have to play with this. So the final card will be not tonight. But I really liked doing this together. I didn't know how I was going to do it. I had some kind of a layout with the 2 pieces of designer series paper. I had no idea what I was really going to do. So talking it out with you guys, that's a lot of fun. A lot of ideas. And it makes me pay attention to the comments because I wanted to see what you were saying. Carrie, did I just see Carrie's name in here? Hi, Christine. Christine says less is more sometimes, and I totally agree with that. Debbie, I'm glad you had fun. There's Carrie. Likes the open leaves, not the others. That area needs something. Now you're on track with the 3 triangles. So, you know, is it too busy? Let's think about this. If this was a quilt pattern and I had flying geese as my sashing, Would somebody think that the flying geese and the sashing of a quilt, would that have been too much? Or is it just because we're working with a smaller area and we can't see the bigger picture? You know, a quilt is made up of many blocks, and a lot of times the blocks or the pieces next to your quilt block are already making another pattern that sits next to the block that you're working on. Doing a card, we only get a portion of what the whole pattern would look like. So there's, you know, I like this thinking. I like what we're doing here. Okay, so I'm going to leave y'all, and I want you to post your quilt blocks over in the group Quilt Cards and More. And I'm going to see what you guys do, because I might case some of your ideas. So I want to see what you do, and then I'm going to come back to mine. So everybody have a really good night. Have a great weekend. And I'll be checking in to see what you did, and we can still brainstorm this card that I'm working on. And yeah, I hope you have a great weekend, and a very blessed one at that. So I'll be checking in to see, did I miss something here? Hold on. Oh, my mouse doesn't want to move. Oh, there it is. Oh, and Tony wants to make sure that if you live near the Waverly, in the Waverly, New York area, even if it's like an hour or two, it's totally going to be worth your time to come to this all-day event that Tony and Jean are putting on. Okay, so good night, everybody, and yeah, tomorrow's another day. We'll see where we're heading with this card.